Slightly Unblended, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Today I'm doing a little sunset kind of blend cut crease, so if you'd like to see how I got this look, then just keep on watching. Hey, so today I'm doing this look and I'm using the Blend Bunny Cosmetics Blends and Surge palettes. I'm taking the Makeup Shack T2 brush and using T66 brush and applying Covet into the crease. My lid is primed with the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas in Fair, and I have on my Crown Noir Queen of the Cut Crease Half Cut Crease stencil. A couple years ago I did this look and I wanted to revamp it because I just wanted to see if I noticed any progress. And it just gave me all the summertime, like, spicy heat vibes of the summer with the blend. So these colors I felt like worked well. So I'm taking Covet and I'm winging it out. I'm using the half cut crease stencil because I misplaced my full cut crease stencils when I did this. This was a while back. I've been sitting on this one a while. So I'm taking the T2 brush from the Makeup Shack to blend Covet out. Now I'm just kind of making sure that it's nice and diffused, and right where I left off with that blend of Covet, I'm taking Vamp from the Blends palette with the T2 brush and just getting that shade nice and built up. So what I'm doing is I'm like packing it down, but doing little tiny back and forth windshield wiping motions, little baby blenderoos here, and just getting that color nice and built up. I felt like Covet and Vamp were made for each other, so it was a lot of fun to blend them out. So as you can see here, I'm taking Vamp. I kind of jumped ahead of myself, but I feel like I always do that. And I'm just patting it down on top, little baby patteroos here, just little baby pats, and then kind of like dragging it down to blend it with Covet, just very, very gently. Giving little tiny baby blenderoos, and I will be going in and touching these shades up quite a bit. Like I mentioned before, I feel like makeup is repetitive because I like for like a nice color payoff, so that's how I do that. And now I'm taking Stay from the Surge palette to kind of put in between Covet and Vamp, just to kind of give a little more. They work very well together, but when I got through there I was like, oh, I really want to put that like right in there to kind of blend them together a little bit more. I don't know, my brain is just like all over the place sometimes when I'm doing a look, so I just kind of try to replicate my left eye the best that I can. With the Makeup Shack T2 brush, I'm taking a little bit more Vamp just to touch it up, and look at those colors together. Isn't that just gorgeous? Like, that could be a look all on its own, I think anyway. With the Phresh Paint Beauty Painters palette, I'm taking the salmony orange shade and the yellow. But I'm starting out with the salmony shade with the T66 brush and just blending out Vamp with it. It's kind of a gorgeous shade of like orange, but like kind of pink. It just, my brain thinks, blend that out with Vamp. It's gorgeous. So now I'm taking the B2 brush from Blend Bunny Cosmetics and the yellow from the Painters palette, giving little tiny baby blenderoos here. And you see how sunset, but how summer night vibes and like a nice summer sunset this is like turning into. Like, this blend just made me think about like summer sunsets and outside festivities during the evenings of summertime and all that good stuff. But I'm just taking that and doing back and forth the windshield wiper motions with the lightest amount of pressure and touching up that salmon shade with the T2 brush, just doing little baby pats. Just pat it down just a little light amount of pressure, not much at all, and it just they just melt together beautifully. So I'm going back in and touching up Vamp real quick. And I clean my brushes off. I have like one of those little tins that has like the little sponge in it, and then clean it off like that, and then just go in and touch my colors up. And now I'm touching Covet up yet again to create some more depth, because I didn't really want to use like the vinyl shade just yet. I wanted it to be all of the colors on their own, and then for the wing just use vinyl because I wanted it to look more like a winged liner, and like, if that makes sense. But just going in and touching those shades up just to make sure that I have them evenly blended and as colorful as I would like. And that's something that with the Blend Bunny Cosmetics palettes you don't have to worry about. The color payoff is absolutely phenomenal. Like, the best formula on the market. Like, I know I say that all the time, but it's because it's the truth. Honestly, like, I cannot keep my brushes out of Blend Bunny Cosmetics palettes. They're everything. So I'm going back into Vamped yet again and just making sure that I have the purple nice and blended out. Lots and lots of touching up. This is one of the reasons why doing a cut crease takes me forever, is because I constantly go back and forth into the shades to make sure that I have them nice and blended and nice and even and just super pretty. Now through here, I'm really focusing on touching up Covet and Stay. Those purples are gorgeous. I am literally in love with the color purple. So it's once I start using purples, it's really hard to stop. Like, I could turn my channel into purple this and purple that when it comes to makeup. So I'm going back into that yellow shade to touch it up, and now I'm taking the Doe Color number 12 brush with the Makeup of Murder Poison Pastel pigment and just blending out the yellow because it's a softer shade, it's more gradient, and then you could take like a white eyeshadow and then it's even more airbrushed, but right now I'm focusing on that loose pigment. And now I'm removing the stencil. I love removing the stencil. It's just so satisfying to me to see that peel. There we go. Yes. Okay. So now I'm taking some micellar water on a Q-tip and I'm cleaning my lid up and trying to make sure that I have the shape that I want. It's really what I'm doing here is just like taking off any fallout that I may have gotten onto my lid and making sure it's all nice and clean and ready for that clean canvas to carve everything out. And I'm just like oogling at that blend. Those colors are just so pretty together. I totally forgot, but I'm taking my davault Beauty Lounge Mantra Liner. It's a neon orange shade, and I'm doing a little graphic liner. So sometimes when I do a cut crease, if I'm doing a graphic liner, I like to do that before I carve my crease out, just in case I get a little heavy-handed with my liner so I don't mess anything up. I just prefer to do it this way. It is a little bit more time-consuming, but I feel like with my hands being shaky sometimes, and I do go a little ham sandwich with the liner, it's just easier to do it this way for me. But however you prefer to do it that way. And yeah, so I'm just drawing that line in. And Davault Beauty Lounge has some of my favorite eyeliners ever. The pastel mantra liners, the neon liners, they're all incredible, like just amazing. So now I'm taking my Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas in Fair and I'm carving out my lid, my crease, all that good stuff. This is a Morphe brush that for the life of me I cannot remember the name of it, but it is a concealer brush and I like it because it's so thin and firm that I feel like it helps me to carve out my crease so much better. And I think it was like $5 if that, and I've had this thing for years and it's like my favorite. You can kind of see that I messed up a little bit right there. I don't remember seeing that in the editing process, but like I accidentally touched my my crease area, the blend with that. But I'm taking this Wet n Wild brush to kind of really focus on blending out that base. So now I'm taking Vinyl from the Surge palette and the T66 brush from the Makeup Shack, and I'm doing a little winged eyeliner moment, but using eyeshadow. You can use a eyeliner if you'd like. I just kind of wanted to keep it all eyeshadow. To blend out Vinyl, I took some of Covet to make sure that I had it nice and blended, have a nice little smoky wing. And to blend out Covet, I'm taking Vamp. And I'm just going over it, kind of patting it down, little baby back and forth windshield wiper motions with the lightest amount of pressure, just to make sure that they're nice and blended together. And I'm just winging it all out. I'm going to take the colors that are like the pink and like the orange and the yellow a little bit farther than I would Vinyl, just to make it be more like, I don't know, I like to see the colors that way. That's just kind of how I do things. But I'm just going in and touching everything up. So pretty much everything that I've used in my crease, I'm taking to blend out Vinyl. Now here, I'm just making sure that I have everything blended out and softened, taking a little bit of that salmony orange shade from the painter's palette to get it nice and blended and making some goofy faces. Like, this whole editing process was nothing but jam sessions and goofy faces, and I don't even remember when I filmed this. I think it was like 2 months ago. And so, just going through, maybe not. I feel like this was like, I look sunburnt, so I don't know. But anyway, I'm taking the Blend Bunny Cosmetics B2 brush in the yellow with a tiny, tiny bit of the Makeup or Murder Poison Pastel Pigment. I lost my train of thought for a second. Just to kind of blend that out, I'm just putting the yellow and then kind of using a little bit of that pastel pigment to make sure it's all nice and even. I wanted it to look like a sunset, like on the beach or something. Oh my gosh, I want to go to the beach so bad. But I'm just blending that out and extending it a little bit farther than I did vinyl. Going back in and touching up the orange shade. And for these shades, I'm just using the T2 brush. But you can also, like, if you have the T2 brush or just like a really small, thin, like flat eyeshadow shading brush, you can go in and use it. Whatever brushes that you're the most comfortable with, I say use those, because I usually find brushes that I get super comfortable with, and that's how I feel like I do like my best work. If I get new brushes, it takes me a minute to get used to them, so I just kind of go back and forth between and then like get used to them. But I'm just going in and touching my shades up and making sure it's nice and blended and pigmented, and just look at that blend. So here I'm just taking some micellar water on a Q-tip and cleaning up that wing. And I do go back in with a little bit more liner and kind of outline that wing just a little bit. I think my camera cut off before I got a chance to get that, but just going in and making sure that wing's nice and sharp, cleaning it up. And okay, I did leave it in. So I'm just kind of outlining that to give it that extra little pop, and then kind of going up for a little graphic liner moment. Kind of connecting them to make it nice and sharp. And I feel like that contrast of orange towards the bottom just worked out really well. That's how I did it when I did it in like 2020, I think, and maybe in 2019. I really can't remember. I need to go look. But I'm just making sure that I have it nice and outlined and having it super, super neon, which is why I like this eyeliner. It's because it's really, really colorful, and I'm like, yes, this makes me so happy. Gotta have a little dance moment. To clean up my liner, I just took some micellar water on a brush just to make sure it was nice and sharp. And this is the finished look. Alright, so this is the finished look. I'm sorry for the voiceover. My back has been bothering me today. Like, it just really hurts, and I wasn't in like the most talkative of moods, but I did this look in 2020, I want to say, and I was like, you know what, let's give it a revamp. So I feel like I may have gotten better. I don't know, I like to go through sometimes and like recreate looks that I've done before, just to kind of see like if they look better. I'll compare the pictures. I'll probably have like a comparison on my Instagram story whenever this goes up. So yeah, anyway, let me know what you'd like to see next down below. And if you'd like to keep up with my awkward face and shenanigans while I'm not here on YouTube, I have all my social medias linked in the description box below. I want to thank you so much for watching, and if you want to keep up with me while I am here on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. It means so much to me. Also, before I forget, I am wearing the new Blend Bunny Cosmetics lashes. This is the Vices lashes, and they are Vixen. Look at how awesome they are. They're like, I love them. I love the Blend Bunny lashes that I have. I still have like one super big like dramatic lash to try that I want to like do a really fun look with, and I'm super excited. Those are the Risque lashes, and I'm like, yes, give me the drama. Like, I love dramatic lashes. Okay, anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that I'll see you in the next one. Bye!